Welcome back to Comic Book ASMR. Today we're going to be doing another comic book haul, and I got a few older books to show off towards the end of the video, and I got a few collectibles to show in the middle, so stick around, it should be a good time. So, first off, we have Image number 2. This is continuing on the anthology. That's going to be, I believe, 12 full issues of just kind of a showcase of different Image talent throughout the years. And I'm noticing there's a lot of the newer people. I wonder if they're going to get some of the older people too, like if we'll end up seeing, like any of the founding fathers do any work for it. And you can see the table of contents there showing all the different things that there are in here. Staying out immediately was I saw they have an Ice Cream Man short in here. So I'm not going to show off the full book. But yeah, definitely recommend this if you just want a good snapshot of Image Comics. And just kind of a nice little sampler here. And some of them are continuous stories too, so that's the thing. It's not all one shot. See, like here's a part 2 I turned right to one, so. Next we have Twig number 1. This is Scotty Young's new project here, and this is the Peach Momoko variant. So this is just going to be a little 6-part story, at least initially. Sometimes, if a arc does well, then they do more. But yeah, this just looked like a little fun fantasy light story. That's my belief anyway, so it just looks nice. So surely I can pick up 6 issues and call it good. I'm sure it'll be collected in the trade and all that type of stuff. But next we have Spider-Man number 2. And yeah, people are getting mad that they've put a nice wedge between MJ and Peter, which, yeah, I hate that too. But we'll see where the story goes. As I said previously, I'm really surprised. I really feel the art's in a perfect balance right now on the book. A lot of people are mixed bag on John Romita Jr. I think he can be good if it has the right proponents of, good inker as well as a good colorist. And as I said previously, this has that going for it. So his previous stint on DC for I think it was Action Comics, didn't care for inking, seemed really thick and heavy. Here we've got Scott Hanna doing it, which looks great. There's the proper balance in the line weights and things like that. So John has said his style is often, he's always thought of his style as deadline style. So he draws quickly. So, when that happens, sometimes things are not as polished as they need to be. But it works for me. I like it. It's recognizable, which might be good or bad depending on your take on Romita Jr. So this is Immortal X-Men number 2. And yeah, this is just continuing on with, power struggles and all the stuff you come to find in X-Men. So for me to put a finger on everything that's going on. But basically, there's some dark dealings going on in the leadership of Krakoa here, and, So basically, the vision of the island is divided against itself, and when that happens, of course, there's tension here. So it looks like old Mr. Sinister here's gonna inflate. Oh no, he's just hulked out, I guess. I've never seen him get that big. That's crazy. Alright, next we have World's Finest, number 3. And yeah, this is just kind of a fun book that takes place in the earlier period, I would say late 80s, of Superman and Batman, certainly judging from the costumes and stuff. So the threats and stuff like that definitely seem very current, though, but you know, I understand what they're trying to evoke with the book, and I'm enjoying it. It's got good art and lots of little nods here. Let's see, is Jonathan in here? If that's Jonathan, that certainly punches a hole in my theory of where it fits in. Maybe, I don't know. Crazy. I'm not sure. Well, before that moment, I was fairly confident that that's when it took place. Everything else in it seems earlier. So maybe that kid just looks like Jonathan Kent. So everything else in here seems like it's, you know, earlier. And then we have the fun dynamic with Robin and Supergirl in here too, which I always like to see the teenage heroes interacting. So, and this one here, this is Batman Fortress. This is the variant. I believe the premise is a corrupted Superman, and Batman's trying to deal with that, I believe. I could be wrong, but we'll see. I think this is a 6-part miniseries. It could be 10. I don't recall. Nice work here with them working in the shadows and stuff. I like the art. Let's see. I can turn a little bit later. I'm not seeing a whole lot in the way of Superman in this, though. This might be by the same guy who did that other brief Batman miniseries, maybe. Not sure. It says Derek Robertson, so not sure who that is. Next we have Action Comics number 1043. I think this is wrapping up soon. I think too, Tedesco has been nominated for an Eisner for, I think, just best cover arc. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know if Bermejo is in that same award listing. So we'll see how that goes, because I know Bermejo's run, he's actually going to do a full-on book with it coming out. We'll talk about that in a little bit. So yeah, this is continuing on with the War World story. And as I said previously, I'm so glad they got the color balance right on the art here. This guy, he had previously done stuff for Batman, a couple one-shots for the whole Fear State thing, and I feel like his line work just kind of got saturated too much. But we see a good balance. We can see clearly the detail. that has been put in place here, and it's fantastic. I hope he continues to do more and more stuff. He was doing quite a bit of the painted covers and things like that, and he's a fantastic painter as well. And we'll see if he continues to do some interiors. So, but yeah, Federici is definitely becoming one of my favorites when I pick up my comics. Deathstroke number 9. This is part of the Shadow War part 6. The nice John Boy cover there. And yeah, I don't want to spoil too much of this, you know, but it's very interesting. It's very engaging, and I look forward to continuing to see where it goes. There's so many elements of it that have just kind of been seeded throughout past Batman stories and stuff, and other mini-series and things like that. So, you know, one of those mini-series I didn't even pick up, that was one where basically they were saying that Damian was actually Deathstroke's kid, and then they're just like, nah, he wasn't. Next we have Robin number 14, and this is part of that same crossover event. I struggle about the order because I don't have the normal covers, as you can see, for most of these. So it gets tricky when I try to navigate. Okay, so this is part 7. This is the right next issue here. So as you can see, things have escalated quite a bit. Every issue they seem to escalate, so that's kind of the point, isn't it, you know? See Talia there in her battle armor. Interesting Batman. He's got like a blade glider type of thing on his back here. A few of those others do too. And we have Shadow Warzone. I believe this is the last part. I'm not sure. And then, yeah, so this is another nice John Boy cover. And this is actually a series of little stories, so I think it's just kind of like wrapping up on certain character elements, maybe. So let me push ahead here, and so there's another one. Here's a Ra's al Ghul mini there. And it looks like there's another one. It looks like Clown Hunter has a full-on costume now. It'll be interesting to see if they continue to do more stuff with him or what happens to him. I'm surprised they went with the lighter color palette, though. He's been kind of doing, like, you know, the street clothes and the black and things like that. So they have gone the other direction with that. He looks very fish-like to me now. And then it looks like there's a Harley story in the back here. I'm not familiar with any of these art styles, though, so these might just all be brand new people that I've never heard of or seen before. And I think that's the last one in here. Yeah. Next we have the Batman Beyond number 3. This is the variant cover featuring Batgirl. Of course, we have the nice spot gloss on matte for the cover there. And I'm trying to remember, I think in this storyline, Powers is trying to get him to steal from Wayne Tech, I believe. So Terry is just kind of in a gray area right now in the story, I believe. And then Batman has somehow been freed from prison. Not exactly sure how. Like, you can still see him in the prison clothes, so he is not legit out. Someone broke him out or something, I can't recall. See the nice classic Harley suit there. And then we get a different bat suit with the yellow, full yellow emblem on it. Alright, let's get to a few of those collectibles. First off, we've got the Captain America soda. There's the little pog in there. And there is the figure. So the chase was him with his mask off with like his blonde hair and everything, but glad I got the common. So I did buy two, I just gave the other one to the guy in the shop. Because it seems it's so funny, like everyone will willingly buy, 6 of the commons. And then, to try to get the chase, and then they're stuck with them after that. So it's really hard to try to sell common sodas. And next we have, this is the Leo from the classic Turtles line here. Doing the all red bandana look. And I just need Donnie, and then I will have the whole set. I've been kind of pulling back on the Pops recently. I literally have nowhere else left to store them at this point, so I'm being a lot more selective. But I couldn't pass up, having the classic wave of all these turtles here. They had the chase at the place too, for I think it was 40, but I just passed on it because then I would want to try to get all of them. I'm tempted just to get like the Chase Raph and maybe the Shredder and Casey black and white, but not all of them. But we all know how that works. Alright, we're busting out the store folio now. We have Detective Comics number 1060. Nice Bermejo cover. And yeah, as I said, Bermejo was gonna have a book printed of all of his detective cover run here. It's just called Dear Detective. So he said previously that there is a sequential element to the covers. They're not all in perfect order, but they do tell a story, at least enough of a story. So he's gonna put that in a nice big old book, and I'll probably buy that book just to have it all collected in one neat spot. So yeah, and this book, what's going on right now is the Riddler is doing his thing. And he's got a new look here. He's got like a beard going on. That's kind of odd. He looks almost very pirate-like because he's got like that handlebar mustache. And yeah, they're continuing on with his interaction with his character here. I think more or less Batman is protecting her while she's trying to work this case. And that's just kind of been a running thing for quite a bit now in Detective, is this particular character. I can't ever remember her dang name though. But she's been working on and off throughout the detective storyline. then it looks like Riddler has found this woman here that just went on a date with Bruce. And we see Talia here as well. Next we have Catwoman number 43. And, you know, Catwoman continues to be a pretty solid book. It's not one I've been, like, keeping. I've been buying them and then just selling them. But this one in particular is pretty important. Jenny Frisson's been doing all these covers. They've been fantastic. But this issue you want to get, this is Catwoman number 43 because, right here, Red Claw. You might remember her from Batman the Animated Series. This is her first comic book appearance. Like, I don't even think she's shown up in any of the Batman animated comics, so this is Red Claw's first appearance in a comic. So if you're a big Batman animated fan, and if they do anything more with the character, this will certainly be one that you want to keep. So, yeah. And I've just been automatically getting this book in my box. There was like a few Catwoman covers that I wanted that Jenny had done, and then they just keep inadvertently putting it in my box. So I was like, oh, well, this is an important issue. I wonder if it's going to be in my box or not. And it still was in my box. So, yeah, as you can see here, we've got some interaction with old Selena and Harley Quinn. Next we have Nightwing number 92. Feel the urge to trace the dog here. They've been doing quite a few dog-centric covers recently for Nightwing, which is fine. So it looks like this has some flashback sequences in it here. See the traditional Robin. But yeah, I've really been loving this series. The art's solid. The story's been good. Yeah, it just looks like we've got a lot of full-on flashback. I think it does. Yeah, it comes modern right here. Oh yeah, I think a thing I just remembered was Nightwing is actually using part of his money to try to put out contracts with assassins. Basically, there's a bunch of assassins that are at large or whatever, so he has been putting out contracts and these assassins have been filling them, and then he's had other people help him apprehend these other assassins. So it's like he's doing setups, and I think they've captured 14 of like the most dangerous assassins or something like that. So kind of interesting. So we have Ninja Turtles number 129. This is the nice Venus cover here by Eastman. So yeah, definitely be checking out the Turtles right now. Big things are going to be happening on the series. And then of course, you know, we've got Venus in here now too. So stuff's going to get interesting. So it looks like they're finishing up kind of dealing with the Turtles or the Frog group here. And it looks like we've got some new people being turned into frogs too. So yeah, in this version, Venus is actually kind of Frankensteined here by this doctor. And so I think that's an interesting take because, you know, just the name Venus typically implies like beauty and stuff like that, the goddess of love and all these sort of things, but this version they've made of her here is, not pretty on the eyes. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see. We've really only just seen images of her. We haven't seen any particular, like, interaction and stuff like that. So it'll be fun to see what she deals with. And then I believe we've got Shredder's ghost here as well. So I know he's supposed to be coming back to the forefront and helping the Turtles in this new storyline that's coming out. And next we have Teen Titans Academy 15. The main reason I got this one was for the cover. This is a nice Todd Knock cover. So you guys know I love Young Justice, which is where I was introduced to Todd's work. And yeah, these are a few characters that I haven't seen him draw before, so it's nice to see them. And Titans is okay. It's just really not my cup of tea at this point, I guess. But just showing off the interior here anyway. I was really following it for the whole Red X storyline, and then that just kind of wrapped up, so. Next we have Swamp Thing number 13. This is a variant cover. And as always, the art is fantastic. Old Perkins is knocking it out of the park. I would say that this run has been probably the most detailed thing I've seen him work on. I could be wrong, but like I said, my formal introduction to him was when he was doing some Cap story arcs during the Steve Epting, Ed Brubaker run. And then I think he worked on some Winter Soldier as well. And so that's where I knew him from. He had a gritty style, but this just takes on a whole new element to it. I'm really enjoying it. So this organic horror in parts. So fantastic job to him. And this is the variant that I got for Rocketeer number 2. It wasn't in previously, so they just got it in the shop. I'll show off those few pages again. The beginning here. There's that. And we have King Spawn number 10. Very menacing cover here. Looks like this one might be full black and white and red. Yeah, it sure is. Wow. So this will be fun to read with all the little accents on everything and all this sort of stuff here. They've been doing a lot more of these sideways panels here. Notice that if I can get it all in the frame, I can't. And then we have Gunslinger number 8. And yeah, this is just another solid book. Brett Booth I feel as well. He's putting a lot of effort into this particular run. He's doing a good job. And it's funny, I mean, Gunslinger's getting a lot of attention recently. Like, he's getting a following of fans for sure. That you would think is not possible for secondary characters, but it's really quite fun to see it happening with him. Just design-wise, he's really fun to look at, so it's nice to have the character fleshed out and, you know, us get to know him better. And then the last one is the Best of the Rat King. Now what's funny is previously I'd gotten a big Rat King book on the channel here, but this is actually different than that. So this has more of just Rat King in general from old days and stuff. So it looks like it's got his first appearance in here. And yeah, this is more in line with like the classic toy and stuff like that. So. And what's cool about this particular book is I actually haven't read a lot of these Rat King stories because these were in kind of series that I never really followed for the Turtles. So it's kind of nice to have them here. And then, so that's the first one. And then it has like the Turtles Adventures here, the Archie stuff. I guess they don't have permission to put the Archie logo in there. That's kind of surprising. I love too when they did these reprints for all the Archie stuff. The scans look like they're photographic scans, so it shows like the paper quality, grit and stuff. Like this is how I wish they would do reprints all the time for all the comics, like for Marvel stuff and DC, because that's part of the charm of the early work, seeing like that mixture of the color on kind of that grainier paper. That just really gets the nostalgia flowing. So, but you know, it's on the paper that preserves better, but we can still see the images how they were truly shown to us when we were kids. So that's why I like when they do that. So, and then it looks like there's just kind of another one in here as well, I think. Maybe it's a few parts, 2 parts in there, and then we've got the newer IDW. I think this might be like his first appearance in IDW's run of him, which is way different. Rat King is like part of like a nature god type hierarchy thing. So he's a huge, huge threat. And the IDW stuff, he's not just some crazy guy in the sewer. And then even on the Nickelodeon show, he is pretty powerful too. So this Krang here. So yeah, I feel like this is 2 issues in there, 2 Archie issues, but I could be wrong. No, it's just 3. They seem like they're really thick though. So, but yeah, that's it for my regular books. Now I'm going to show off some of these classic things that I found. So first off, I got, this is the Tick number 2. This is a special edition here. So I previously did a Tick collection video way back in the day, maybe 3 years ago now. But so this is like the non-standard version of the book. This is the special version. It's limited and numbered. And yeah, back in the day, the Tick was all black and white. This large, difficult to find bag and board, you know, the large, like the old Turtles books were too. It's almost like a magazine size format. So, but yeah, I didn't have this particular cover. And it's got Paul the Samurai in the back of it too. He's fun. But the normal cover is this one here with the flames, and I actually do have the first print with the die cut, and then they did other versions with different colors on it. So I got that one. And I will leave a link to that tick video below too. The sound quality is not as crisp as this, but it's still a good video. And maybe when I actually complete my full tick comic run, then I'll do a remastered version of that video. So next we have the tick number 4. This is the first printing. On that video I mentioned I had something that was not the first printing on it. So once again, still black and white, large format. I noticed the poster in the middle is a different color than the printing I have. Mine is like a bluish color, so this is their distinction for between first and second prints and stuff like that, I believe. So, but yeah, this is cool. And then I know that I never got this here. I had seen this, but I never owned it yet. So the tick had different prediction covers for the 1992 election. So this is the Bush one. They had one for Bush, Clinton, and Ross Perot. So this is one of 3. And I wasn't sure what the interior book was. And it's actually the Chroma tick. So they reprinted, I think, the first 10 tick issues in full color. And so it's kind of cool to see. You can line up and see between like the color and, you know. So it's fun to just line it up and see the color, and then with the black and white there. So and then this is a newer one here. This is Tick issue 101, when he met Madman, which once again, this is one I didn't have. So this one's in full color here. And yeah, we can see him interacting with Madman. So another great independent comic character. Like, I just really have a draw for reading these characters that just kind of, you know, there's this extra spark that, you know, makes them rise above being unknown, you know. So stuff like Madman, the Tick, the Turtles, all this sort of stuff is really inspiring to me to create, and maybe one day have my own goofy, offbeat hero be recognized, you know. My personal childhood one is the Bull. I did do the Bull number 1, like I said, almost 3 or so years ago now. And we'll see if I am able to do another one soon, hopefully. I just really need to push past my confidence issues on it. So next I got, this is the Leonardo mini one-shot here. And yeah, so this is the cover there. This is the cover there. And then this is all black and white. I have the colorized version of this in my IDW The Works Turtles books, but it's nice to have it in black and white. So, just to have, you know, the official one. Finally, I got one of my favorite TMNT covers of all time. This is the Turtles number 4 cover here. And this is, I think, the 3rd printing of it. But this was the cover they used for the NES Turtles video game box art, Which as a kid, this was like one of the most beautiful images of the turtles I'd seen, just like with the painted and the glowing and all this sort of stuff on it. I was just so impressed, blown away looking at that. So yeah, so this is, I think, the third print, like I said. I don't know if it'll even say inside. No, it doesn't say, but yeah, so this is all nice and black and white. Not in a crazy huge format, but it's still iconic. I love seeing the classic stuff here in black and white. I don't know. I might even be tempted just to do some black and white stuff too, because I really am a bigger fan of black and white than colorized stuff. But I know that like the bull skews younger, so that's just kind of part of it. The shop did have Turtles 11 too, with April on there, but I didn't want to spend too much. But yeah, so that's gonna do it. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Turn on the bell for when we do live streams. You'll be notified and you can join in on the chat. And as always, you all have a super slumber. Thanks. Bye.